Behind every smile lies a secret. Behind every promise, a trap. Are you ready to uncover the truth? Season 4, Episode 15, Turning Pain into Power. Previously on The Hook, Amara guided Ethan through a deeply emotional session, encouraging him to confront the roots of his choices and start writing his story. Emma and David expanded the healing journey, focusing on empowering survivors and educating the public to prevent future scams. Survivor stories began to emerge, and the team saw the profound impact of their mission. Ethan's story begins. Ethan sits at his desk, staring at the open notebook Amara gave him. The blank page feels heavier than it should, the weight of his story pressing down on him. Slowly, he picks up his pen and begins to write. My name is Ethan, and this is my story. His handwriting is deliberate, each word carefully chosen. I didn't choose this path, it chose me. Or at least that's what I told myself for years. But the truth is, I made choices, and those choices hurt people. This is about why I made them and how I'm trying to make things right. Ethan pauses, glancing at an old photo on his desk. It's a picture of him as a boy, smiling with his siblings, before life became complicated and the weight of expectations crushed his spirit. The first Healing Journey workshop, Emma and David stand at the front of a brightly lit room, facing an attentive audience of survivors, educators, and community leaders. Behind them, a large screen displays the words "The Healing Journey," turning pain into power in bold, vibrant letters. Emma steps forward, her voice steady but filled with conviction. Thank you all for being here today, she begins. We're not just here to talk about scams. We're here to talk about resilience, about turning the pain of these experiences into something powerful. David shifts the slide, showcasing survivor stories and common scam tactics. We've identified patterns in how scammers operate, scripts, profiles, and tactics they use repeatedly, he explains. But today we want to focus on you, your stories, your strength, and how we can prevent this from happening to others. The audience listens intently. Then Sarah, a survivor who has been part of the healing journey, stands up, her voice calm but powerful. At first I thought this was just about exposing scammers, she shares, looking around at the faces in the room. But now I see it's about something bigger. It's about breaking the silence and building something stronger from the pieces they tried to shatter. Her words hang in the air, and the room hums with quiet agreement. The energy in the room shifts, becoming charged with a new sense of purpose. Amara pushes Ethan further. Ethan sits across from Amara in her office, clutching his notebook tightly. Amara's voice is gentle, yet probing. Did you write anything this week? She asks, her eyes focused on him. Ethan hesitates, then nods, sliding the notebook across the table. Amara reads in silence for a moment, her expression thoughtful. She looks up, her gaze kind but firm. This is a good start, she says. You're being honest, and that's powerful. But you skipped something. Ethan shifts uncomfortably, his gaze dropping to the table. I wrote what I could, he says defensively. Some things are just too hard to put on paper. Amara leans forward, her tone softening. I know, she says, her voice gentle but insistent. But the hard parts are where the healing happens. You can't change what you don't confront, Ethan. Let's talk about the first time you felt you couldn't say no. To your mother, to your family's expectations, to the scams. Ethan exhales slowly, his shoulders slumping, as if the weight of his memories is bearing down on him once again. It was the day my mother told me I was the only hope for the family, he admits, his voice low and strained. I was 13. She looked me in the eye and said, if you fail, we all fail. I believed her. Amara tilts her head slightly, her voice softer now. And now? Ethan glances at his hands, his voice barely above a whisper. Now I see that wasn't my burden to carry. But it's hard to let go of something that's been drilled into you for so long. Amara offers a small, reassuring smile. We'll work on that, she says gently, one step at a time. David and Emma strategize. In their office, Emma and David sit surrounded by papers, laptops, and coffee cups. The focus is clear, their conversation flowing with determination. Emma speaks first, her tone thoughtful. The workshop went well, but we need to reach more people. Not everyone will come to a community center. David nods, already thinking ahead. What about virtual workshops, he suggests. We could use live streams and webinars to share survivor stories and prevention tips. Emma's eyes brighten at the idea. That's perfect, she says, her enthusiasm palpable. And we could partner with influencers, people who can amplify our message and reach audiences who might not even realize they're vulnerable. David types furiously on his laptop, his focus sharp. I'll start reaching out to platforms and creating a digital strategy, he says. We need to get ahead of the scammers, educate people before they even become targets. Ending scene. Ethan's next step. Ethan sits at his desk, flipping through the pages of his notebook. He stops on a page where he has written, I'm not the person I was. I'm not the person I was told I had to be. I'm learning who I can be. He picks up his phone, typing a quick message to Amara. Can we meet tomorrow? I think I'm ready to write the hard parts. Her reply comes almost instantly. Of course. One step at a time, Ethan. You're doing great. Ethan leans back in his chair, staring at the notebook. For the first time, he feels a glimmer of hope, not just for himself, but for what his story might do for others. Next on episode 16, Stories That Heal. As Ethan continues delving into his past with Amara's guidance, Emma and David launch their first virtual workshop, reaching a global audience. Survivor stories inspire others to come forward, creating a ripple effect of empowerment and awareness. The team discovers that healing isn't just personal, it's transformative, touching lives far beyond what they imagined. Find out in the next episode, episode 16, Stories That Heal.